All right. We are live. What is happening, everybody? This is We the Sequel. My name is Matt Baker. Today, my guest is someone who I really dig. His name is Kylan. You may know him as Foundering One. He's been around for quite some time. I don't know if you've been following his work, but even from COVID and through basically every conspiracy theory known to man, he's got a song for it. And everything fake and gay, as it were. I really liked his ones during the pandemic, and he recently popped back up on the scene here with his Honeypot song. And I think he's been blocked now because of that. Kash Patel's little wife there is not too happy with his song. I think he's absolutely hilarious. He's basically the conspiracy maestro, the bard of our time. His ability to make these songs and to sing them appears without even looking at notes. I don't know how he does it. Apparently, he's a professional musician, and I find his work to be quite hilarious. He's going to be in here in about 10 minutes. I'm just warming the stream up right now, trying to get some people, some eyeballs in here watching it. I've got a few people in here. If everybody that's in here would share it, we can start growing these numbers. I'd like to have a couple of hundred people in here at least by the time he shows up. I'm going to play one of his classics, Fake and Gay, about everything fake and gay, and get this rolling here for you. And then he'll probably be coming in about 9 minutes, and we shall get into all of his songs and what he's got cooking, and how it's going with Kash Patel's Honey, and what he's up to, and how he actually comes up with all this stuff, and how he performs it, how he started, where he's going, how you can follow him, possibly stream his stuff on Spotify and stuff like that too. Maybe download some of these songs, hook a brother up. And yeah, I'm really pumped because I hit him up a little while ago, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a big fan of yours. I saw your Hail Fauci thing, during COVID, and he was one of the freedom fighters out there fighting against the COVID BS." And so let's hear this song, Fake and Gay, real quick. And we'll just get you guys a taste of it if you haven't seen his work already, or the first thing you heard about him was his Honey Bear song or Honey Trap song. I think it's just a honey. I'm not sure it's Honey Trap because you might get sued if you say that. But anyways, all in fun, all comedy, all fair use here. We're just having fun, having a good time. So here, let's watch this.
No matter what they say, ain't a thing can be trusted. Dinosaurs were made up in the late 1800s. It's a fabrication. They say NASA's flying space stations. Stay safe, keep playing along, or get trampled by the mob. Science is going woke like a load of soy baloney. Einstein is a joke, Stephen Hawking a phony. Gravity's a mystery. They added hundreds of years to history. Oy vey, they try to play God. Don't you think that it's odd? It's fake and gay. Fake and gay. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. It's fake and gay. Fake and gay. I gotta say, he's gotta say, it's fake and gay. The virus caused your cough. It's all fraud like vaccination. Even Santa Claus is a shroom hallucination. It's manipulation. 6 million never were lost to cremation. Watch out, don't sing along, just ask Allison and Bond. Truth don't hide behind the lie. Carbon, climate change, dumb deranged dozens of genders. Your favorite football games are arranged, they're pretenders. There's ancient high-tech structures, but if you buy We Can Fly to the Moon, you're a sucker. Wonder what's over the wall, Google will never show it all. all. Pride will come before the fall. It's all fake and gay. Fake and gay. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. It's fake and gay. Fake and gay. Yeah, I gotta say, he's gotta say, it's fake and gay. Well, Helen Keller's fake. We never came from some apes. The Iron Dome's no way, no 9/11, no play. So, COVID's an illusion. The Covington kid, Trump, ludicrous Russian collusion. Fed kidnapping plots, planting pipe bombs, capitals, and inside jobs. Sandy Hook and nuclear bombs. A juicy Jussie in the night, especially lying deep fake Biden. A Shakespeare didn't write any Midsummer Night. In case you're still uncertain, this red pill will help you see through the curtain. Don't worry, we're here to grow, so let go of what you know. We're sitting front row in our show, and it's so fake and gay. There ain't no way, it's fake and gay. I gotta say, it's fake and gay. Your social media feeds completely screed like Wikipedia. Big pharma propaganda and a man named Amanda. It's so darn retarded. Abraham Lincoln wanted the Civil War started. Ukraine, the Israel raid, just like Hollywood, it's staged. Playing punk like Green Day. CBDCs, DEI, the FBI. A Grammys, Nobel Prizes, eat some bugs, you'll be fine. Aliens from space, the shape of the earth, whatever the hell they're spraying. TV, fiat money, and Frank and democracy. Patriot cunt Louise. LGBT infinity is really, really fake and gay. There ain't no way, it's fake and gay. I gotta say, it's fake and gay. The end of World War II, all the food you consume. That pyramids are tombs and there are good-looking cherubs. It's so hard to swallow. Your college degree won't help you succeed at all, though. SpaceX and Mr. Musk, 81 million votes for Joe. The Boston firecracker hoax. The taxes that you pay are particularly gay. The government is fake, and yet we stay rats in a cage. Fauci's and DeGrasse's demand that your asses need your vax passes. Bud Light, space satellite, Scientology, AI. Psychiatry's a pseudoscience. You've always had a soul inside, so try your best, enjoy the ride. It's alright. It's fake and gay. There ain't no way, it's fake
And gay.
fake and gay. I gotta say, it's fake and
gay.
Don't you think it's odd? Don't you think it's odd? Don't you think it's odd?
I do. And it looks like we have someone in studio with us right now. Let's bring him in, shall we? Let's see here. There he is. What's up, man? I don't recognize you without the piano.
Well, here. There you go. There we go.
Oh, there it is. Are you
double.
gonna sing me a song while we're on? You got any new stuff you're working on?
I'm even wearing the same pants that in the video.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good.
I love it. I'm so glad
they're my fake and gay Rick and Morty pants.
Definitely gay.
Hey man, it's a pleasure to meet you officially.
Yeah. It is, man. I've been really excited about this one. I was watching all the videos as I was stacking them up, getting them ready. I put them in little folders and stuff. So I go through your page and I was trying to find the fake and gay one. I couldn't find it for some reason, but I found it. And then I was looking at all the other ones, and I'm just like, I mean, do you remember the lyrics to these things off the top of your head? It doesn't look like you're reading them.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Usually for a song like that, I do have the lyrics put up on the screen of the computer that's filming me.
Okay.
I do. Well, so look, I'm an old fart with the YouTube stuff. And so back in the day, I actually did that kind of memory type video production, where I would sing all the elements of the periodic table, sing all the, I don't know, you probably watched the Animaniacs, right? You know, the Animaniacs show? Yeah. You know, that's like, they got that one where it's like, United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican. The idea, we can sing every country to the music of the Mexican hat dance, right? That's like, it's so brilliant. And like, bring back entertainment like that. Anyway, so I did things like that. And yeah, I actually would memorize all of them. For example, the Pandemic Dance, the big song that I wrote during the COVID era, it's like a 10-minute long song. That's all memorized. Another one I did, Election Fraud, that was also 10 minutes and that was memorized. But at a certain point, it's like a lot of times these songs are very topical. Whereas Pandemic Dance, that was written over months, right?
And we were being tortured for years.
Sure. So that had time
on our hands
to percolate. It had time to, and sometimes I'll as a lyricist, you write a song, but then you have a first draft, right? So things change, lyrics change, little subtleties here and there. And I like to, it's kind of two different approaches to songwriting, right? One is sort of the long one method. And then when I have to do like the Honey song from like that one needed to be fast, right? Because with the sort of wham, bam, thank you, ma'am speed of social media these days, you really have to be on top as a creator, content creator. I don't have to tell you that, but particularly when you're doing art, in addition to that, like as an artist, it becomes the extra element of creation. It's, you have blocks, you have doubt, you have all this stuff as opposed to just, making memes. Not that there's anything wrong with the meme makers, but when you're writing songs, there's a little bit of that extra element.
Oh yeah. I mean, these are well crafted. I mean, each one has so much information in it. Like it's like a Rosetta Stone of everything. The Fake and Gay song just goes on and on and on. I mean, I'm wondering, do you literally believe all of those things are fake and gay? Every single one that you mentioned, or are they just general things that are considered to be fake and gay?
Why would I tell you that?
I don't know. I just
no. I mean,
into the mind of the madman.
Look, I think part of the mystique of it is like, does he really mean what he's singing here? Yeah. And I think that is at the heart of what the issue is with society these days.
Are you a flat earther?
Well, so okay, slow down. You're gonna. I would say there used to be a time when comedy and satire and all that stuff was an intrinsic part of communicating, a part of entertainment, part of like everyone understood that there was elements of life that were really hard and they were really real, and that a great outlet for that is when you kind of entertain the fanciful and you sing about the absurd.
I mean, if you want to keep it secret, that's fine. I don't want to.
I'm not. I'm just sort of.
I can see that. But I just figured it's my job to try and tease as much out of you as I can.
Sure. So a lot of times when I first really started leaning into this foundering satire character on YouTube about 15 years ago, I wrote a song called Foil, which was basically a kind of a parody of a Weird Al song, it's like, that's pretty meta, right? Doing satire of Weird Al, which is satire. So I did a satire of the Weird Al song where he's making fun of conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists. And then I added
tinfoil hat one.
Is it the tinfoil hat one? Yeah. So I added like 10 minutes of verses to that, right? And it's basically just all the conspiracy theories that I liked, that I thought were good, that were interesting, that were funny, and it was very effective because I realized.
Is it that one?
The aluminum foil. It's a parody of the Lord song, right? So basically,
I love that song. Actually, I like the OG song.
You should watch my expansion to that. It's very long, but it's quintessential. It's like the birth of foundering, where it essentially, it combines the absurd conspiracy theories, like things like Keanu Reeves is an immortal vampire. That's a real conspiracy theory, right?
But that's real.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone knows that. Come on, man.
I don't know. I'm not the authority. I'm just a shit poster, right? I should be allowed to just shit post. And there was a time a long time ago, but also when we were growing up. I mean, I was a kid in the 90s and I cut my teeth on just being a shit poster in the 90s, right? And we just had our own anonymous screen names and everything. We just were, it was the Wild West, right? And that's growing up in the South Park era, the beginning, you know, all that free speech kind of stuff. It felt very.
Were you on the Chans? Are you a Channer?
I kind of, you know, this is going to be a little embarrassing, but I was actually pretty hardcore Redditor in the early days. Early days.
You have such knowledge.
I went over to the Chans, but the Reddit is a whole saga in itself. So just to answer your question, you know, I feel like I used to
answer the question.
When I was a kid, I was very like science, you know, no spirituality, no, like that's all silly. And then I had my mind open. Actually. Yeah, and then like when I became a teenager, I became more aware. You know, I had a couple psilocybin. No, psilocybin was the one, and then eventually DMT in my early 20s. And so I had a lot, and I haven't really touched that stuff in a while, but let's just say I explored them to as far as I felt like I needed to at the time. And then I came out of it being like, oh yeah, wait, I was full of shit about everything basically. And then I
had a little for dessert last night after dinner.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, anyway, so I went through that whole process, and now I've been proven wrong so many times about things that I'm just like, I'm trying to keep an open mind. And I feel like maybe as an artist type, we kind of have this ability to maybe rethink ourselves and maybe admit that we were wrong about stuff, because I've been wrong. I used to think certain things about viruses and disease, and then now I'm like, oh, I got to throw all this out, you know, and I just kind of had to start over. So to answer your flat earther question, in the middle of the COVID insanity, and I was trying to do my best to spread the word and sound the alarm. And I basically ended up losing my 16-year YouTube channel for trying to sing songs carefully, but it wasn't. I
got mine back. Have you tried to get it back recently?
I have. They're not going to give it back to me.
When was the last time you tried?
Like a month ago. Like I try a lot, but they're not going to give it back. They're not.
I tried, and just recently after they made that statement, I really sucked it up. I was like, oh hey, I was just, you know, it was a rough time back then, and, you know, and I was only joking, and you know, I'll be a good boy, and they gave it back to me. I had asked at least 20 times. So
you lost it for COVID, for medical misinformation.
Yeah. And actually, to be honest, I really was joking on the post. It was when Trump got COVID, and I was like, wow, this is a big deal. And I'm like, I'm not going to watch anything anyone else has to say. I'm just going to tell you the possible futures that we could be living in. And it's like, future one, Trump dies. And they're like, see, that's what you get for not wearing masks, you damn Trump tards. And so then they would go super heavy with the lockdowns, forced vaccinations, everything. Or alternate reality number 2 is Trump comes out and goes, I took hydroxychloroquine and me and Melania are doing fine. We're doing tremendous. That was it right there, because I said COVID, hydroxychloroquine, and Trump in one sentence. They kiboshed me at that point.
What
deleted
every video? What year / month was that? Just for I can.
It was right when I forget. I think it was 20. I think it was maybe 2021, maybe. But it was right when the doctors, you know, were Stella Emanuel and all those guys were on the steps. That's when they were like, we got to shut this down. And so they just basically did keyword searches for anyone saying hydroxychloroquine, anyone talking about anything like that. And they just banned everybody outright right then. Yeah.
It was painful. Was that post the vaccine coming out? That must've been 2021 then, early 2021.
Well, we could find out whenever Trump got COVID.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember that. It's crazy what we went through, bro.
It's fake and gay.
It is fake and gay. I know
everyone's delivery is so funny. Like you're always like, it's almost like it's almost like
it's musical theater, bro. It's musical theater kind of. It's where it's the larger than life silent movie. Like you have to have the facial expression has to be part of it.
Almost reminds me of Jim Carrey, like when he does the mask. Like
I get compared to Jim Carrey a lot with my expressions. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Hilarious.
Because he's all like Illuminati.
He's a master.
Isn't he like
he's still talented.
Yeah, sure. And he was base about the vaccine thing like early on too with Jenny McCarthy, and he got some pushback from that with her.
Yeah,
I think he went on Larry King. Yeah,
when
they
they got
did.
him in line. He didn't say
Yeah.
shit during COVID though, did
He
he?
sure didn't. No, yeah.
And neither did you can believe Rage Against the Machine
Yeah.
was pro-vaccine.
Rage
Not
for the
only that,
machine, yeah.
yeah, and what's his name? Immortal Technique. Get the
Right.
vaccine. You just go get the vaccine. Don't be stupid. It's like this is everything you've ever been singing about, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you can't see this. Like, what
I'm
was
sure
that?
I'm
Was that
sure
all
you
just
know
a joke?
five times August, right? The amazing
Oh yeah, yeah,
musician. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And
Mhm.
he has songs about that, how basically all the punk rock, all the fight the man guys that were supposedly against that kind of stuff really showed their true colors in a big way. I mean, there were a
Mhm.
few, I mean, there were some Van Morrisons and I mean Eric Clapton after he got vaccine damaged. I mean, I guess we'll take what we can get. But for the most part,
Always knew Van Morrison was good people.
I did too. You know, I have that
Yeah.
kind of sense about people, and I, you know, I never really liked some of the like the Rage and that kind of stuff. So, but it was
Yeah.
wild, man.
I did like Rage. I was really a bit I did like Rage a lot, actually. I've seen him live at Coachella and stuff, and it was pretty badass. And I really dug the vibe of like, yeah, revolt against the system and stand up. And then before I really realized that it was more like a communist revolution type thing that they were
Right.
going against, I was just like, you know, fuck the man and like, yeah, like tear the
Sure.
system down kind of thing, you know. Like you said, I was pretty much an atheist when I grew up. I was raised Catholic, and all my Catholic teachers were so retarded
Yeah.
that if I ever asked them a question, they just would have no answer. And I was like, okay, so you have no idea what you're talking about. You guys are all complete idiots. And basically, I just said, well, that's completely. There's no point there. You know, this is completely fake and gay. But then ended up arguing with people so much. I got so good at arguing with people that I would beat them all the time. Like, there proves there is no God, proves there's no God. And then eventually I would find flaws to my own
Own
argument.
your
But I
own
would
arguments
not,
because the more that you
yeah,
talk about it, the more that you start
yeah.
to
And
analyze
then I'd
it
be like,
yourself.
if they caught me what I said right there, if I would have said it back to myself, well, what about this? But I didn't. I let them lose the argument, knowing that technically I had lost to myself. And so then that's when I started coming around, and the DMT and the LSD had a little bit to do with it
It was
too.
a little nudge, little. Wait, so have you done like ayahuasca or?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Okay,
I used to get like the crystalline yellow stuff.
sure.
I really like that. And then recently I have a vape pen, which is pretty
Wow.
cool because you can kind of you can kind of ease yourself in, because sometimes it's like a big commitment, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And so you can be like, oh, okay, I think all right, let's go. You can ease it in a little bit. Yeah. I got a homie that has those on the hookup. Pretty sweet.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. No, there's
Yeah.
something there. There's something there. I basically stopped once I became a father. That was sort of the timeline of my trajectory, but I was starting to explore quite a bit and was pretty ridiculous. What yeah. Did you ever read that book, the DMT, The Spirit Molecule?
I haven't read it, but I've watched so many videos about
Sure.
it and different people talking
Was
about
it
it that I'm basically, first for me, that when everyone says, when you dream, you do DMT, it's like I don't buy that, because
No,
for
that's
me,
not.
dreaming is not. I've done a lot of lucid dreaming, and but I used to be the king lucid dreamer, like the best lucid dreamer of all time. I could just do whatever I wanted. It was like generative AI, I could just like go in and be like, all right, what are we gonna do today? And it, first, obviously, you're just like finding girls to bang, but then after that gets old, you start doing other things, start like, and I used to walk around my dreams and just check out the graphics. I'd be like, oh my God, look how detailed this is. This is so realistic. What the hell? And I used to work on a cartoon at the time. So I would go, like, I would find the creators of the cartoon and I'd ask them for tips and stuff like that. So I could write episodes based on the characters in my head that were the ones responsible for writing the stories. And I could go and sit down and talk to them and stuff like that. But it's definitely not DMT. I mean, it's not the same at all, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, that's not the premise of the book. I think I had read it and it was a doctor basically doing, I'm sure, I think you know the story. I think University of Arizona or somewhere where they were dosing people up. They actually got permission.
Intravenous, right? The
Yes.
intravenous stuff.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was this whole crazy bureaucracy that they were able to make it happen. It would never be allowed today. It was just sort of the strange window, I think, in the 90s where they got
Actually, I
approval.
think they're doing it again. What wasn't that guy? The guy was on Jack. What's the guy's name? Ryan Jack? No, not Jack Ryan. Who's the guy who does the podcast? That he's like the Fed. He's like he
Oh,
does it.
Sean Ryan.
Sean Ryan, yeah.
Sean Ryan, yeah.
He had this psyop guy. He's famous on YouTube. He's like, this is how you spot a psyop, and this is a psyop, and that's a psyop, and they had him on, and he was talking about how he's going to be doing intravenous DMT.
It's part of a like an
right.
official study, sanctioned study.
Not as a study, as
Oh.
as an explorer. He's
Oh,
going
I
in,
see. I
like
see.
he's going in, and he wants, the thing with the DMT is it wears off, so you kind of, it's hard to put it in perspective what's actually happening, because it hits you so hard, and then it wears off so quick that you can't actually, like, if there are things or entities you want to go talk to, it's like you can't have a long enough conversation. Personally, I never see entities. Did you see entities? Not really.
Yeah. Well, I certainly maybe not seeing, but experienced. And
Yeah. I definitely feel like I'm being communicated to. It's like it does this thing. It's like defragging your brain. I feel like it always does. Like you'll be like, but no, it can't be this, and it's like, yes, it is. It's like, no. Yes. No.
I
yes,
definitely
no,
saw
yes.
what I would describe as something similar to Terrence McKenna's fractal elves.
Machine
I
elves?
definitely saw them.
Yeah.
In their, like, they almost seem like native peoples in their habitat. There was a little bit of a salvia element to it.
I don't like salvia that much.
I have sort of, it's been a long time, but I went to some similar astral villages with realms. Yeah, I should say. Yeah. But they were like quaint little denizens almost of this place. But no, I definitely started to encounter what I would describe as very negative, angry entities towards me through DMT, basically telling me to sit down and shut up, like basically shut it down type. It was basically shut it down type energy, and it was.
Are the entities Jewish?
Well, I don't know about that. We had like these.
We got the call. Shut it down.
The Jewish flying spectral beings. No, but I also did feel like I was communicating with a higher self of sort that was very benign and loving and beneficial. So
I definitely feel like a communication. It never crystallizes into a physical entity for me. It's always like just streams of light and thought and consciousness that just overlap one another.
Interesting.
And,
what about 5-MeO DMT? Do you know?
I don't know if I've tried that. I don't know, because
it's quite different about it. It's quite different. It's quite way more potent. So the mistake people might make would be to use as much as for DMT, and that is not recommended. But it's less. It's no visuals, but really it's more like return to cosmic source type reboot type thing. Extremely.
Who knew
powerful.
we were just going to start talking about drugs? Though?
I mean, it's a hey. It's kind of my first.
Well, they're not really drugs; these are plant medicines.
My first song that I wrote as kind of foundering was about my first mushroom trip, called Dramamine.
I have a song called
Highway.
Psychedelic Toad.
Nice. Well, isn't that what 5-MeO? Well, there's the Bufo, whatever.
The Bufo 5-MeO, yeah.
5-MeO.
I guess it comes from
also toad.
I think it's from the desert toad.
Sure.
The Bufo boreas is some other. It's like the Bufo or something. I was just looking that up because I found a toad the other day. But yeah,
it makes me think that this is all AI creation or something, because like the AI is this stuff. Art is so trippy, and it like reminds me of that stuff that you posted. And I'm like, well, that's like an acid trip. And then it's like nature has just given us all these substances. Like, oh yeah, this frog over there, if you lick it, you're gonna trip your balls off. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like this.
And the ayahuasca is even weirder, like, because the DMT, you smoke it, that's one thing. But when they do the ayahuasca, because of the MEO inhibitor,
yes,
there's you have
to combine it.
Actually, yeah, it actually dissolves it, and so you won't experience it. So there had two separate plants out of like millions of species of plants in the jungle, and they found the two that just so happened to work together.
Was it Carlos?
They actually said the plant told them.
That's what I was saying. What's the book series? The Carlos
Castaneda.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the thing, but it basically
something about castles.
It talks about what you're saying, which is that these plants have these entities that are embodied the plants. There's just like the spirit of the salvia plant, the spirit of the whatever. And I
felt salvia was very pushy. I didn't like the way first time I smoked it, my friend's like, did you feel it? And I was just like, I don't know, I just walk out the door, and I couldn't stop myself from walking. I was like animated by this thing. It was moving me without my brain actually moving me. I couldn't stop myself from moving.
That's
So
interesting.
weird.
That reminds me of the
Yeah.
opposite of when we were in high school and like goofing off with friends, and they would just be essentially incapacitated. But you just remind me of a funny like joke PSA from a while ago, man. I'm like, my sense of time is all messed up. It's probably like 10 years ago, where the guy, he's in a car and he's like, this is what happens when you smoke, when you drive under the influence of salvia. And then he takes like a hit of like a bong rip of salvia, and then it just films there, and he's just like sitting there and like for 30 seconds. And then the point was that he's completely like, there's no way that he was gonna be able to drive.
Don't drive.
No,
Don't do that. Not a good
no,
idea.
that was the point. That's like, it's basically not possible. But anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I don't know. You get used to it. You might be able to.
these plants are our brothers in some ways, and we have to respect them. Just like, I read this book when I was a kid. My grandmother was really into aliens. I should say she's still alive. I was just talking to her last night, and so I was exposed to a lot of some weird stuff, and some of like the top alien researchers she used to pal around with, which is really funny. I got to meet people like,
oh, he froze, like Bob Lazar, perhaps. I don't know why he froze up there for a second. Maybe you can drop out and come back in again if possible. I'm not sure why it's you're glitching there, my man. Let me see. I'm gonna I'll play one of his videos here real quick. I think the Jewish aliens, DMT aliens, must have shut down his stream. So I'm getting a text from him right now. Let me see here. All right, so he's crashed. I'm gonna play another one of his videos. I guess he's just gonna reboot the computer, and we'll get right in. I'm just gonna text him real quick. Sorry about this. This shit happens. No worries, bro. I'm gonna play another one of your videos. Just cruise in whenever you get around to it. So yeah, I'm gonna play up one. I got this bunch of his videos over here. We can check out another one. Let's look at his newest jam, the one about the honey bear, the honey badger. Let's see here. Let's see. Found ring, fake and gay. The inoculator. Let's see here. Werner von Braun. That's a classic. Pandemic dance. I don't know. Let's pandemic dance. Let's see. He's got the. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up his honey one. That's like the new jam. Pandemic dance. He's frozen. Sorry about that. This kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. Him falling out there. Just give me 1 second. I'll keep you guys entertained. Where's the honey? Is it honey? HONEY. Let's go. Turn. Well, all right, I'm gonna have to go back to this. I don't know how I didn't put the honey trap in there. Found ring. Let's see. I wonder if it does. If I search his page for honey, for some reason it doesn't do that. All right. Sorry about this, guys. I do apologize. Normally I have this stuff lined up a little bit better. Didn't quite get the amount of time I normally do to put these things together because of the holidays and family and stuff like that. But let's have a look here. Oh, this one's funny. The Kanye West. Wow, has Kanye seen that?
Yeah, he retweeted that.
That is awesome. Wow, it
Yeah.
sounds so good when you play it on piano like that. It's
Isn't
fucking
it? That's
awesome,
one of
dude.
my like most viral videos because of the Kanye retweet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And on my sort of my
That's how you do
backup
it.
YouTube channel, that is totally it's tiny. You know, it's totally suppressed by YouTube. They're such dicks over there.
Yeah.
But that I uploaded that, and it's got like 150,000 views, which is hilarious because it's called Heil Hitler, and it's like and it's allowed on YouTube because it's just because his version isn't, but mine is like it's just the instrumental. So everyone in the comments are like, oh, you know, they love it, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that your honey pot song, but I thought I had it in my folder, but for some reason it's not in there. I don't know what happened to me. I said it was in there.
X search like hates my videos, so like half of them don't even show up if you search for them. It's really annoying, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I
I know, that's very beautiful.
It's
makes it so nice.
it's beautiful. I'm lazy because you know when I do things like that, I just conceive them in my head, right? I'm not like writing music down because that takes forever. But people have been just bugging me nonstop.
Can you just hear a song and just play it like
that's
off
what
the top of your head, pretty much?
That's what how I learned that. You know, I listen to it a couple times and then I create my own sort of interpretation of it. But that's all well and good for me. But what if someone wants to play it too? You know, they don't have the benefit of 35 years of musical experience like I do, right? So it helps to if I can put it down for music. Anyway, people have been they won't shut up. They really, really want me to make a sheet music version of that, of the Kanye West song. So I'm actually working on it right now. I'm pretty close to being done. Do
you have to write it? I mean, could you just put that through AI and it would write it for you?
No, it would be too. It would. Let's just put it this way. It would approximate a lot of things and it wouldn't write it. It would all be wrong about where the hands play what and what the rhythms are. And I would basically have to go and edit every single thing. You know what I mean? It would be the same amount of time, if not better, to just do it from scratch. And when I do it from scratch, I can actually just control the whole process, if that makes sense. I want to make it as pianistic as possible. Reproducing exactly what I'm playing would be too difficult for most.
You're a pianist.
For most pianists, it's too difficult for most pianists. Yeah.
Oh, you're an amazing pianist.
I appreciate that.
You're a huge pianist.
I come from a long pedigree of pianists. My ancestors were. Yeah, no, actually, I do. Yeah, like I was talking before the aliens.
You know Anomaly? You know Anomaly?
Oh yeah.
You kind of have a similar vibe to Anomaly for
sure. Yeah, he's a great guy. I follow him.
I'm getting Anomaly vibes from you a little bit.
Nice. I like that.
Hopefully it does. I dig him. He's a cool dude.
But you know,
I'm trying to find your Honey Badger song here. Can you retweet it to your page?
Alexis is my honey.
Okay, let me find it here.
Alexis is
go ahead
my
and
honey.
give us some more information about writing that song. How long it took you while I get this real.
For that one? Yeah. Well, so that's an example.
The Heil Hitler one there.
Oh, the Heil one. The Heil Hitler one?
Yeah, how long did it take? Did you just sit down and just go, boom, I can just do it? Or like how long did you have to fuck around with it?
I an evening, but sometimes the videos are the result of a lot of takes. So I think that particular one was maybe the 10th or so take that I did of it. And then I was like, okay, I'm happy with that one. So it's not like it's a first try, one and done situation. I usually have to get myself into that mindset of performing.
Do you teach piano?
I used to. I sort of been canceled locally and my name is kind of in the mud, so I can't really get jobs anymore.
There's got to be some people who aren't woke that want to learn from you. I mean, damn, I would. I mean, you'd be the funnest person to learn from.
What my expertise is mostly is with accompaniment, right? So I toured the world with Postmodern Jukebox, the band. I don't know if you know PMJ, Postmodern Jukebox.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Well, so it's like pop jazz kind of stuff. Anyway, I accompanied some of the best singers in the world. That's kind of they have finalists from The Voice, from America's Got Talent and stuff in the band. So I played with some of the best of the best. So my job is to back up other performers. I like being a performer too, but I work with operas, I work with musicals, I work with choirs. I think my role best is that type of sort of musical director type leader of conduct. I do conducting, but not like this conducting, but I conduct from the piano, which essentially I can play piano, but I also give directions to a band essentially while I'm doing that. So that's what my expertise is, and that's what I like doing the most.
And other musicians can just pick up what you're putting down, and they
Yes.
get what the rhythms or the melodies
Yes.
you're throwing out, and the
Yeah.
timing and everything. You're basically just the heartbeat.
And a lot of it is
thing,
his head nodding. So that's a big part of it. And it's just sort of my body movements, but I'm keeping the rhythm and the time and everything on the piano. Right. So, or I'll work with,
because a drummer can only do the drumming, but you can do the drumming, the melody,
that's
the
right.
rhythm.
And that is why my ragtime is the goated genre. Musical genre. So ragtime is the style of music that I play. This old people think, old timey, pre-jazz, honky tonk, whatever. Well, what it really was it was at a time when musicians had to be, they couldn't rely on a lot of things, or maybe, you were you couldn't afford a full band. So the piano player basically had to step up. Piano player had to do this part too, had to do maybe the bass player didn't show up. He's got to play the bass. So you got a whole very complicated style of playing that is not done today. Not done in classical, not done in jazz. Jazz is very minimal in the left hand. You don't want to get in the way of the bass player. Well, in ragtime, it's like, no, you're the bass player, right? And unlike classical, you have to be able to read music, but also improvise. And classical musicians they cannot improvise. And to be fair, a lot of jazz musicians cannot read complex music. And ragtime is this beautiful moment right in between where you have to be a consummate musician. I'm classically trained. I went through the whole thing. I mean, I only listened to classical music for like the first 10 years of my life. And then I started getting to jazz and all that. But really, it's this sort of in-between area, what I would call ragtime generously. But really what it is, it's musical theater. And it's just this type of satirical performance that America really pioneered. And it is the most quintessentially real American style of music that it is, because it is funny, it is offensive, it is free speech ridden, it's got all sorts of racial.
What are some classics that you would because I'm ignorant of a lot of this stuff that you're talking about. Most people, ignorant just means I'm not aware.
Sure.
Doesn't mean I'm a moron, but it's just not my gig. And you're kind of blowing my mind here. I didn't really realize all of this about the whole ragtime genre and how it actually incorporates those different, the rhythm, melody, and all this and that, and then also comedy and this free speech element too that you're just bringing up. So, what would be like one of the ones that was like a historical, was there one about the Second Amendment, about the Civil War, I don't even know when this exactly sprouted. Like, what would be the quintessential ragtime song that wasn't just a fun timey? It was like your style. It was like a protesty, in your face type song.
Well, I don't know about protesty. I mean,
or free speech, because you said it was about like free speech and getting out and kind of getting in people's faces a little bit with stuff, whatever you would call it.
Sure. No, there is a lot of Second Amendment type jokes and things. Like there's this great song from the Civil War era. It's all about how you it's from the perspective of a racist white dude. And he's like, yeah, I don't want blacks to have guns. But then when the Civil War happens, and then all of a sudden they're like, actually, let's give the blacks the guns and send them to the front lines. They can have the guns now. They can go fight for us. That's great. So, I mean, I'm a horrible pair,
Do you know the song?
I do. Yeah. But let me back up. So ragtime is the politically correct term.
Oh.
So, and honestly didn't exist until the 1890s. 1895 would be the first ragtime song, which is 30 years after the end of the Civil War. So there's a whole period of the late 1800s, 1850 to 1900, of an entire genre of music and musical styles that were going on. And I would not call this ragtime. So ragtime is sort of the term that people sort of use now to just sort of describe a lot of the music from this era. And in terms of quintessential ragtime, most people are only aware of. I don't know. I don't think you can hear my piano through the Streamlab.
Let's
But
go.
can
Oh yeah, I can hear it fine. Perfect. The Sweeney, right?
what's that?
The Sweeney.
No,
Isn't
that's
it
called
Sweeney?
the Entertainer.
Oh,
That
okay.
one's the
Isn't it in the
Entertainer.
movie The Sweeney. It's in the movie The Sweeney.
The Sting.
The Sting.
The Sting.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, no, I can hear it perfectly.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
bust
And
it out.
then the other one is called the Maple Leaf Rag. That's like.
Yeah.
Right. And so
Nice.
what ragtime is basically, it's essentially just ragged time. And what I'm playing there is actually extremely based in the Western European classical harmonic and musical tradition. These are composed songs that are written down, and I am not making improvising. That is something that I've memorized from music on the paper. And
Yeah, I
what was
can
so
hear it. It's
interesting
exact.
is that these were all written by both Black and white musicians. This was something that was a exciting and unifying thing for during a particularly tumultuous time. So I could honestly go for
So
off on this.
ragtime is short for ragged time,
Ragged-
meaning
ragged
the
time.
time is more flexible.
Yeah, well, it's not that
and
it's flexible, it's that it's happening with syncopation. And syncopation is a fancy music nerd term for when you put the beat sort of on the offbeat. Reggae would be even described as having that form of syncopation, even polka and these other sort of oompa. But ragtime in particular really drives it home, where instead of doing something like this, it can be like,
Wow.
so, but instead of dun 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 dun, it's
So what do you think the purpose of it is? What's the purpose of
dancing?
Huh?
Dancing.
to give it a little bit more groove?
It makes you dance because it makes you want to anticipate the next beat in a way that normal dancing won't do. So here's what this is.
This is
America-
fascinating stuff,
America-
guys. Come on, you're not
This
going to
is-
get
okay.
this on any other channel.
This is our
Give this
American.
real quick, share this out, guys. Please give me a couple of retweets. This is great. You don't get guests like this. This is fucking awesome. The guy's playing for his life. Give me some retweets out there, please, right now. Thank you. Go ahead.
I love it. I appreciate you, man. Because a lot of people are kind of like, they're like, oh yeah, it's this old time. They complain. They say, hey, you should play some, no one likes this kind of stuff anymore. And I'm like, okay, first of all, that's not true, because I grew up with ragtime. This is ragtime.
Oh my God.
I mean, listen,
Oh my God.
right? So Koji
You
Kondo,
play Mario Brothers as ragtime?
100%, all 100% ragtime. It's all ragtime. And people don't know that ragtime has infected video game music and all sorts. It is everywhere, but people just don't know that that's what it is. But definitely, when Koji Kondo composed those classic, iconic Mario themes in the 80s, he was drawing specifically from American ragtime style. There's something very catchy about it, and when you're playing a game like Mario, it was a risk. It's like, people had never really had that type of experience before. You're constantly dying. You're constantly facing these horrible challenges, and it can be overwhelming. But when you combine it with this happy-go-lucky sort of bouncy stuff, it kind of like, it's like, oh, I died again, and it makes you, oh, here we go. That is the heart of what ragtime is. Ragtime music, the ragtime songs from the turn of the century, over 100 years ago, the lyrics were all, life sucks. We're going to die. I got syphilis. My baby left me. It's like kind of the blues, but the music is the opposite. The music is, It just makes you want to smile, makes you want to dance. It's like this, life sucks and then you die. But you know what? We're going to do it with a spring in our step and a twinkle in our eye. That's how we're going to get through it. And that captured the American dream, the American exceptionalism, this relentless optimism that we were known for in that era, the pre-World War I, pre-Federal Reserve, before the world really went down the shitter, America was this exciting thing, and the whole world wanted a piece of it, and it was reflected in the music because there weren't movies at the time. There weren't that music was the meme of the time. That was how you went viral, is you wrote a great song, and songs were published. They're published in sheet music form, many hundreds of
And then bars
thousands.
start playing them, and it becomes it's like a
You-
hit
you-
before-
and you would
before there
go
was
and you
radio.
would hear it, and the neighboring bard would come over and he would sing a song and be like, oh, I want to learn that too, and you'd add to it, and it would be this group effort, and it was this thing that brought people together. And it as you would imagine, go back to the early 1800s when we are just freshly a country. We have all these different elements coming in. We have Germans coming in. We have Irish coming in and Scottish coming in. We have Italians coming in. And they all brought a little piece of their culture. The Germans brought their intense operatic classical tradition. The Scottish brought their whimsical jigs. The Irish, their airs and their sea shanties and things like that. And when they came here to America, it became this new type of thing, this sort of frontiersman type sound.
Musical melting pot, right?
It was for the lack of a better term, it was a musical melting pot, but in all the best ways, in that all the elements, musical elements that were combined, unlike if you actually racially become a melting pot where everything sort of becomes the same, the different elements of these different, when you combine different racial art styles artistically, you still maintain those elements of.
You can still hear the signature.
You can. That's right. You can hear this, but here's the Irish part, and here, and here's the sort of the German.
I see a lot of it in the bluegrass, because I lived in Ireland for a while, and it really bums me out because I used to travel between England and Ireland. And when I was a kid, I hated Irish music, because my parents are Irish, and I'm like, oh God, Irish music, Jesus Christ, I want to listen to Madonna and fucking all this bullshit. And the Irish guys would sit up all night in the bar and they would play live Irish music all the time. And the whole time I would just make fun of it and everything. I could have been just absorbing all of this amazing music. I'm sure it was just fucking off the hook, and I was too stuck up and wanted
it's
to hear
funny how
music.
we are like that, and we are like that.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of kind of the similar stuff when I was younger, but I've sort of come. This
I have a non-alcoholic Guinness. See, that's my Irish blood
nice.
kicking
I
in
love
there.
that. I love it. I love that.
Zeros. These are really good. If you ever want to try like drinking non-alcoholic beer, man, these Guinness, you can't even tell the difference.
Well, I think you hit at kind of what I'm trying to get at here, in that all these different cultures have pride in their national heritage, especially these days as that is being threatened, as it's being in Europe. The homogenization that's happening it's pretty wild, and they're trying to erase people's cultures, and they have a lot of different ways of doing that.
Yeah.
But one of them is saying that your culture is racist and bad, and that's what they've done to us in America. But look, so when I was touring, I tell this story a lot, but I think it's a really important one, and it hits at the heart of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And when I was touring with my band, I went around the world. We performed all through Europe. We went in Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, Tasmania, New Zealand, Moscow. And what I found was they loved the show, and because we were playing like American music, and they would say, "Oh, it's you're bringing America to us and stuff." But the best moment of every night, since I had this classical training, would be when I played the classical music of the composers, the famous composers of the places that I was in. You following? So like in Russia, like Rachmaninoff, Tchaikovsky, these guys are.
And you knew it, and that was like the ultimate respect hat tip, right? They're
exactly.
Like, oh, my man.
It was more than that. It was like they would lose their shit. That would be the moment of every show where the audience really they went. And it wasn't like my performance was great. It was that they were like, you are acknowledging us, and we're having this exchange of cultures, and our cultures are different. That's what's so special about us. We're doing a musical melting pot in this moment, but we are then going home to our own cultures. We are sharing ideas artistically and giving props to the other guy, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like like you're saying, where you could still hear the signature. It's like when you're talking about the physical melting pot, where everything just becomes one even brown color, as opposed to you can still see the individual, the blonde curl with the, with the, with the black
Exactly.
nose, as opposed to it all being just one even culture, or like in a sound when it just becomes white noise almost, because there is no distinct style anymore. It's just become
I
this
think
blob.
that a wrong way to phrase it would be fusion, because I think fusion tries to go the wrong way. But like what you're saying is right, that like I'm playing Rachmaninoff, but then I'm also kind of doing a little boogie woogie. But at the end of the day, I can go, the Rachmaninoff, his music still stands on its own, and I can separate the boogie woogie from that. But in that one moment, they can have this moment of so. Long story short, I've discovered that people are desperate to hold on to their cultures, and their cultures are being erased in front of them. And one of the most profound ways that they can keep it alive is through art. But even more importantly, maybe I'm biased because I'm a musician, is music, because music can still be re-experienced and enjoyed and easily, especially now, you can just press a button.
Yeah, and it can be weaponized too, because I mean, if you look at just philosophers, I forget which one it was, but I think it was one of the Greek philosophers basically said, you know when the change is coming when the music in the town changes. So
or like when they come for the musicians. So you know, we look at the Bolshevik
like when
Revolution.
they start playing gangster rap, there's going to be the kids are going to grow up with the sagging pants. They're going to be driving
you're
cars,
getting ahead of where I'm getting at with the story of what happened to ragtime and popular music. But so like the Maoist revolution, they came after the artists, they came after the musicians. Bolsheviks went after the musicians. They literally executed the professors and the piano people, because those were the ones that were steering culture in a big way. The
bleeding hearts and artists,
and the composers were not allowed to compose anything emotional. It had to be very by the state. We were doing marches, official, blah blah blah. There was no exploration of anything. So you've got the heart of it here, in that music is a very it's not the only one, but it's one of the most powerful things that ties a culture to itself, and it grounds that culture. Now, where am I going with this? America. I'm a musician in America. I'm growing up. Where's my musical culture? Where's my musical heritage? I'm taught in the 90s that, you had racist, white, sexist forefathers, and that's essentially, that's your heritage. And the music was racist. So, or you are appropriating it, and this is the other,
or black people invented all music. And
you got it. They are trying to say that American music was created by black people, slaves that came over, and that we don't have our own musical tradition. We stole it from blacks. Now, it's very tricky because one would get called racist for even having a conversation.
Well, I always push back on that one. I don't think you invented the guitar. I don't think they invented the violin. I don't think they invented the keyboard. So now
I
have these tools to work with, and you can mix it up.
I would say unique perspectives in the world on this, and most educated and informed. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. The reason I'm saying that,
I'll do it for you.
I'm one of the only people that is actually collecting and learning and performing these songs from this era. Everyone is terrified to touch them. Not that all of these songs are bad, not they're all racist, just there is this clout over this entire bit of history, and they are saying, do not touch any of this. The few that they let us touch are this. And that is that's a ragtime piece. It's not a song. By Scott Joplin. Scott Joplin was a brilliant Black American composer. But and he was the one that was featured in The Sting, the movie from the 70s with Robert Redford and Paul Newman, which, to its credit, helped put ragtime again on the map. It really created a sensation for my parents' generation. It's what got my dad into ragtime when he saw The Sting when he was a teenager. And everybody wanted to learn how to play.
I wonder if you could get Kanye to actually imagine if Kanye would somehow do a collab with you to bring back ragtime. That would be fucking awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh, I love that. So, okay. Well, so let me tell you what the real name of this style is. These songs are called coon songs.
Huh.
Coon songs.
I think I've
And
seen
that's
some of that on your page.
yes. So coon songs, that is what ragtime got renamed to, essentially. Coon songs were the most popular music style in the world for almost a century. Period.
And that's
And
what they
it's-
literally called them.
Yes, it is. There's a Wikipedia page, Coon Songs. Go check it out. It is a rich and storied history. I'm sure you know Turkey in the Straw.
Mhm.
That's an early coon song. It was originally called Zip Coon before they everything got politically incorrect, and they renamed it to Turkey in the Straw. So the
How did they
word
come up with that name?
Zip Coon.
No, Turkey in the Straw.
Oh, Turkey in the Straw. Oh, because they wrote a song about there was a turkey in the straw. It's in the lyrics of that song, but it's actually originally called Zip Coon. So before everyone brings out the pitchforks and said, "Oh, you're just racist." So that term coon was originally for white Americans. It was for frontiersmen, raccoon skin hat wearing Davy Crockett frontier badasses. The coons were the guys that were living out on the prairies, and they were the ones that were exploring. And it was originally a term for whites. And when that song
Whoa.
Zip Coon was written, there was no racial element to that, or racist, and it was not a term for black people at all either. That emerged way. I'm telling you, man, there's a whole history here that has been.
This is way more
obfuscated.
fascinating than I was expecting. I
So-
didn't even think we were going to get into any of this. This is amazing. Keep
So
going.
check it. I mean, I'm super passionate about this because it's like my whole life I've been lied to, right? Because I got into ragtime when I was really young and I started playing these pieces. But then when I got older, I actually had teachers, and when I went to high school and then college, that were like, "You can't play this music because you're appropriating Black culture." That's what I was told many times, and I was shut down from again and again, and eventually just dropped out and gave up to pursue my own stuff. But no, I was called.
I love
tried
this
to-
appropriating. Can I just interject here on the appropriating culture thing? So I love it when people say that. So if we're going to play this game, does that mean that Black people are going to stop flying in planes? Does that mean you're going to stop watching TV? Does that mean you're going to get rid of your cell phone? Because this goes both ways here. And then keep in mind, again, where did the piano come from? Where did the guitar come from? Where did the electric guitar come from? All these different things. Like, so you can use the tools that are given to you, and then now the minute you touch them, it becomes yours now. So you can't go back and say, no, you're not allowed to use guitars anymore. You're not allowed to even use our musical notes anymore. You're not allowed to use cell phones anymore. You can't use recording studios. I mean, where does it end?
So you've hit at the heart of what the obfuscation is. So if you read the ragtime Wikipedia page, it basically does what you just said. It describes, in other words, it's like, oh, it came from Black people. But even if it didn't, you're racist for saying that it didn't, right? That's essentially what it's doing. And it's contradicts itself frequently in the page. And this is, I'm not saying, Wikipedia is this is what is taught in universities. This is what everyone believes and says. So
It's another form of cultural destruction. This is just one more
it
attack.
Is. It's a very important
the system
one.
is using to take our roots
our
away
culture
from us.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I want to go back to the coon songs and the evolution of that. But so
I think you just like saying coon songs.
Well, I do, because what's remarkable is that
It's liberating now that you know that it's the Davy Crockett coon types.
it's liberating because now I realize that these words have so much power. And the fact that they made that word verboten actually makes my research much easier, because you can no longer say coon or use coon. It actually makes the searching, when I'm going through the Library of Congress, or I'm going through the New York Public Libraries, that word has been erased post 1920, essentially. But then it opens up this whole world. They're keeping all this music exist, a lot of it in digital form, but none of it's ever been recorded, and no one dares even talk about it or let alone play and record them. That would never happen. So I guess before I go back,
this is like, you're like the gangster music there is.
And I will say, of all the songs that I've done, making fun of the Jews, making fun of trans, making fun of everyone, Indians, nothing has gotten me more in trouble and gotten my Gumroad account suspended at least a dozen times than recording actual classic songs written by Americans, note for note, from the 1800s. They are, and what's ironic is that they are tamer than most gangster rap today. Like, they are quite tame.
For example, give me your most banned song.
Well, what do you mean banned?
Well, you said there was one particular genre or one particular song that gets you canceled or
well,
shut
it's
down
any
more than any
song
other
that
song?
has coon or nigger in the title. So I just did one called Daryl Be a Nigger Missing, and then I posted on YouTube, which was probably not a good idea. And then I might have lost another job because of that one. So that one, that one is no good. But then there's another one that's I ain't.
Where do you live again? You live in Washington or
I live in California.
Oh, you live in Cali? Which part?
Santa Cruz, bro.
Oh, Santa Cruz, bruh.
Yeah.
Well,
Santa
cool.
Cruz,
If you
bro.
guys are in Santa Cruz and you want to
Yeah.
like get someone who actually knows the history and you're not like a snowflake, fucking
Okay,
give this
so
guy,
I'm
let this
gonna
guy
fill you in.
some work.
This is the Coon Song 101, the course Coon Song course 101. I wanna get you up to speed. So basically what was happening is they were writing these songs, these coon songs in the mid 1800s, going through the Civil War and stuff, and eventually it basically became a term for poor people, for poor white, but not like as a disparaging one. It's kind of like the badass. It's like not the rich folks, like the coons, right? And it was actually a term
salt of the earth.
the salt of the earth.
Yeah.
It became a term adopted by the American Third Party at the time, which was called the Whig Party. And Henry Clay was their biggest politician. So there were a lot of Henry Clay coon songs to be like, let's rally together, get the people. And that was actually the anti-Masonic party. So the anti-Masons were the coons, essentially. Isn't this fascinating?
Fascinating. It is crazy. Yeah.
So
no idea.
Eventually it started to become a term for blacks. Now, what was happening was America was trying to reinvent itself from Europe. We wanted to become our own people. We had freedom of speech. We had the right to bear arms and all these things.
Kind of like slaves. Like if you think of the word slave,
comes from Slav.
Forget that it's Slav. Yeah, so
Slavic.
it used to be the Slav, the white Slavs, and then slave, and now it becomes synonymous with black slaves. When you think slave, that's the word that you. Yeah, so you can see how that can get mutated.
Yes, and a lot of the great coon song writers, some of them were black, most of them were white, but some were black, and they were free. They came from free black people before the Civil War, which people are like, oh, wasn't every black person slave? No, there was actually a ton of free black folks that were becoming the movers and shakers. So what you had was this melting pot, and a big part of this story is minstrelsy. And we know kind of associate sort of the blackface performer with that. Of course, that has been, just deemed the most horrible thing in all of human history. But if you
are you going to start doing it?
No, because I don't. Because what I do is far more damaging to the narrative. Me singing these songs in their original form and putting them with my face with no shame behind it, and as an actual scholarly effort, is far, far more effective and damaging to their fake narrative, their fake and gay narrative, than if I put on the blackface, which would discredit me. And not that I don't do it because I'm afraid. It's just not what my method, I guarantee you, is pissing people off way more than.
Has anybody else noticed, like actual musician people, the people that you would want to actually get through to? Do you think that anybody out there is like, hey man, I see what you're doing, great work? Is anybody actually giving you that? Like
there are some that are ragtime people in the ragtime scene that are historian types that are quietly supportive of me, but they would lose their livelihoods.
They're too scared.
They're too scared to say. But again, I'm sort of getting ahead of myself here. So this whole idea of, look, when you're kids, you play cowboys and Indians. I know when my dad was a kid, they played Confederate versus Union. They were, the whole, this idea of if you read science fiction books, the kids pretend to be the alien, and then you fight and you put on the face of the other. It's how it's a very fundamental human emotion and reaction that goes back thousands of years. Are you following what I'm
probably
saying here?
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably since the dawn of time.
The dawn of
I don't think
time.
it-
The dawn of
yeah, I
time. It's
mean,
how
as
you
long as
deal.
human beings have been human beings, and there was another tribe, they would get in a fight with the other tribe, and the kids would dress up and pretend like I'm the bad guy, you're the good guy. And
100%.
that's the motivation for the running and the
And when you have a
and all that.
healthy society, different cultures are allowed to make fun of each other. They are allowed to communicate through comedy, through mockery, through satire, through parody. You see where I'm going with this? So
Yeah.
when you make that kind of thing illegal or whatever, when you're not allowed to laugh, people get violent. That is the end stage of all of this, and what we're dealing with today, and what we saw during COVID, and how why they're trying to make comedy illegal, and it makes people kind of go crazy. We need these outlets, and you know who else needs it? The powers that be, the kings. The kings need a court jester, because the court jester is actually able to go to the king and make fun of him to his face without, at least if it's not, the king hasn't gone full despot, that court jester is useful to both the masses because it lets them have this pressure valve outlet, and the king kind of be like, look, I'm letting them laugh at me. Now they won't kill me. Come kill me. Are you following what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
So comedy is essential to a free society. And what we saw through this era, this minstrelsy era, was white people, because we were predominantly founded by white forefathers who came over from Europe for hundreds of years, that they colonized us. All of a sudden, they started importing an entirely different culture, blacks, that were so different and foreign from what we knew and understood. And as a result, this type of cross-cultural comedy and communication happened. And one of the main ways was via this sort of blackface minstrelsy, where white people started dressing up. In the first known case is 1799, so the very beginning of the 1800s, as black people. Now, we have this idea of it was all evil and racist and offensive, but for the most part, it wasn't. It was, at least initially, the blackface performers were the freedom fighters for the people kind of types. Like the guy who popularized that Zip Coon song, he was an outspoken advocate against like the bankers that were fucking things over. And he was like, again, he was like a man for the people, but he also was a performer in the blackface style. But it was, again, not like, the whole thing wasn't at the expense of blacks. And in fact, black performers liked it and adopted it themselves. And they became some of the most prominent blackface. Yes, blacks were the most famous of the blackface performers. They would make themselves look even blacker. And yeah, a lot of it was racial stereotypes, and some of it was, offensive.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, like, look at music now, like, or comedy, like it's the same thing. Like, black people will make the entire comedy show about being black, and they'll say, N-word 5 million times.
Exactly.
And that's like basically the punchline is like, nigga, I was like, or the songs are like that, like, I'm black, I've got gold chains, I roll around with my car.
It's like both ways.
It's like a caricature of itself.
It is. And it did go both ways. There were blacks putting on whiteface. They were blacks putting on yellowface and making fun of Asians. Like they're these.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy would always do that. Oh, hello there. The white guy.
America was a melting pot, for better or for worse. And the way that they dealt with that was through this type of comedy. And it was actually performed and enjoyed by all races. Now, musically, this is how coon songs started to develop into. They became sort of racial humor type things. But what's been the most interesting thing of my study, since I'm actually literally one of the only people that is learning these, they're mostly love songs and lullabies, period. In other words, they are written by white composers in the European classical tradition, but they use black dialect. They liked the speak, the lingo of black people. And they thought this is going to be
It's like
really
Eminem.
funny. It is. It's like Eminem. And they're like, we're going to take their lingo and put it to our classical musical styles that 100% came from Europe. Now that's where this sort of weird, they're like, oh, black people invented this. They didn't. This is white European classical music that was modified by whites. And this is probably the most controversial thing that I could say to a modern musical historian, as an homage to blacks. It was a laurel. They were reaching across the aisle. They were saying
like Vanilla Ice or you know, like I said, you know, Slim Shady isn't actually making fun of black people. It's like me with dreads. It's more of an homage, the Line of Judah. It's like you know, like I like Bob Marley, and yeah.
And what was so, you are right, because they were writing songs about the best of black culture. These songs are like the dad's out working all day, and he comes home. All he's been thinking about is seeing his 2 little babies again. And then he sings them a lullaby and puts them to sleep. And that's the song. And it will be called like a coon lullaby or something. But it's like, it's written by a white person singing about this almost exotic other that is living with them, but it's different. And they see it as quaint, and they see it as beautiful and respectful. And again, there's no degeneracy in any of these songs. There's no sexual degeneracy that would never, ever, ever be allowed and never happen. And there was some racial riffing. There were black songwriters that were making fun of whites. So a big, another aspect of this, we're getting the whole musical history rundown here, was a style called cakewalks. I'm sure you've heard of a cakewalk. Did you do cakewalks as a kid? I did cakewalks.
I just thought cakewalk was just meant it was easy. I had no idea what the reference was.
A cakewalk is an actual thing where you go around in a circle, and then there's numbers on the floor, and then if the numbers get called out, and if you're on that number, you win the cake. So a cakewalk is actually kind of dance. But here's what the cakewalk actually originated.
It's almost like musical chairs, only you get a cake.
That's exactly right. So the cakewalk started out as satire made by blacks making fun of whites. So the blacks on the plantations during the slavery time, they would see the white people having their fancy European style dances. It was very prim and proper and everything. And the blacks were like, okay, we can do this too. And so they're like, we're going to dance around for our little cake. And they started doing this mock European style dance. And it had a little bit of the syncopation in it. I mean, this was pre-ragtime. So cakewalks existed before. It was a dance style. Ragtime emerged essentially from coon songs and cakewalks. And all the early ragtime songs are actually called cakewalks, or they're called coon songs. So really what we saw, when the blacks started doing the cakewalks, white people loved it. They weren't like, oh, they're making fun of our dance style. This is a horrible. No, they were like, this is great. We want to start writing cakewalks too. So all the white American composers started.
This is so crazy. I have no idea about any of this stuff.
Yeah. And what I'm telling you is 100% verifiable. I am not making any of this shit up. Yeah. And so, but of course I'm giving my own.
Maybe you should make a documentary about it.
I'm working on it. And it's going to be really tricky to navigate because there's going to be a lot of pushback. I know what I would.
You're probably already going to do it because it's your style. But I would definitely. I think being there and showing the difference in the styles of the piano, like during the thing, and the way you can switch gears and stuff like that. Like
I will definitely reference the songs, right? So anyway,
like, see how they got this, and then this became the cakewalk, and this
what we saw post Civil War, when the tensions were really high, was this riffing. It was like East Coast, West Coast rap battles, but between whites and blacks. But also there were rap battle types between Northern blacks and Southern blacks, where there were songs by black Northerners dissing the black Southerners. They got big mouths and can't sing very well. And then the black Southerners like, yeah, well, you guys are like white trash. There's so many songs sing about white trash, and they're by blacks. They're like, yeah, we're not going to let the white trash in. And like the racism, quote unquote, was 100% going both ways, but no one was getting offended by it. they thought it was funny, and they were being performed by both. Now, it's argued that, well, blacks, they were in such a hard situation that they had to be racist to get to be
So by them
accepted.
trying to outlaw this, they're basically creating a pressure cooker, like you were saying earlier, because the valves that are normally put in by the comedians, by the musicians, and by these diss battles and stuff like that are now being closed off into a pressure cooker, and so there is no steam coming out, and they're basically trying to cook this pot to cause more problems, more race war type stuff, right?
And it could be, it might or not be the Jews, but that's a different question. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So anyway, just to wrap up what this pre-ragtime thing, you had this constant back and forth, and it wasn't just like black and whites. You had the Irish writing sort of Irish jig coon songs. There's one that I did which is called Bedelia, the Irish coon song, and it's a love song. It's not racist at all. It's just in the lingo and the style of the coon song era, which again were mostly white American composers writing in sort of this black dialect. Now, fast forward to 1895, and you have a guy, his name is Ben Harney. Ben Harney is the father of ragtime. He coined the term, and he published the very first ragtime song, which Wikipedia is lying about because why? Ben Harney was white, and that is not allowed. The official stance is that jazz is black, and jazz came from ragtime, which is black. America has no music style of its own. It was African Americans that took their music from Africa and brought it over here. Now, what's fascinating about that is Wikipedia is like, the syncopation from ragtime, it came from Africa. But then later down in the article, it's like, there's actually no historian has found any link with any of this music to any music in Africa. In other words, they made it up whole cloth. These type of syncopation and rhythms, freaking Bach and Beethoven and Mozart were using they did all of this stuff again and again. What we did for the first time in America was take these rhythms and turn them into popular song formats. Are you following? With this sort of combination
something you could dance to.
Something you can dance to, but with comedy and humor and racial themes and dialect of this sort of American, not just black dialect, just kind of.
So when you do these songs that you're famous for, they're basically in the truest style of a normal ragtime. It's not even being a parody of ragtime. It actually is kind of the heart of what ragtime always was. Only in a
always was.
Sense.
Always was. And this is something that I didn't really learn.
I always feel like you're doing it ironically, like to play something very old timey with something, but in a way, it's like I said, I was talking about protest songs. So because like I protested the lockdowns, but then, and I made a song or two also, but not like you, but then those songs are basically like yelling out the thing that can't be said.
It's yelling out the thing. There's certain things you cannot say, so sing them all instead. That's a lyric from one of my songs, Shut It Down. So they were singing about these things, and they were talking about, and another aspect of that you are missing, or not missing, but that I haven't really explained yet, is how the quote unquote popular, gangster rap, whatever you want to call it today, it glorifies violence, right? And it causes more behavior because it glorifies it. The songs that they are telling me are racist and should never be sung or performed again and should be forgotten, they mock it. They mock this type of violent behavior. There's this this trope of how coons, black people, because now coons have become mostly referred to blacks by then, how they always have a razor. They always walk around with a razor, and they're going to cut you up with the razor. And it became this sort of parody of the worst parts of black culture, and it became embarrassing to them at the time. In other words, the black composers like Scott Joplin, who wrote Entertainer and stuff, they wanted to distance themselves from those stereotypes and show that they were not that way. Are you following? So a lot of these songs that were using comedy to mock, it actually made less of that behavior. Whereas today, all this stuff that glorifies it, we see more of this behavior.
It magnifies it, yeah.
It magnifies
And they
it.
they
So-
say, well, they claim that it was like either this, I think it was the CIA or whatever, was like kind of instrumental in turning hip hop into gangster rap.
and,
it
and this
was
has been going
designed
on
to
for
actually-
much longer, right? And you could say that
designed to undermine the cultures and to
you
make
could
people
make
focus
also
on,
the argument that some of this racial riffing got a little bit overboard by around the turn of the century, around 1900. Things started to get a little mean spirited.
Mhm.
But then you kind of like look at the publishing companies, and there's kind of like a lot of Steins and Bergs in the owners of the sheet music. Because if you think about it, it was the sheet music that was king. Right. There was no recordings really at that time. So the way that you had hits is what you had to write a piece, and it would be in a sheet music form with all the lyrics. And again, this is all in that, like you're saying, who invented the guitar? It was Europeans that invented this classical music notational system that is the foundation of all of this, of coon songs, of cakewalks, of ragtime, and jazz. And to say that it came from Africa or blacks is the silliest thing ever. And they even will be like, well, Ben Harney, who was the first. If you get them to finally admit that, yes, Ben Harney was first, even though Wikipedia is lying about that, they'll say, oh, well, he just stole it from some unnamed black musician. And that is not an argument. You can, I'm sure there have been a billion savants, Mozart type, not a billion, but many countless great savants. We don't remember them because they didn't document themselves for posterity. Mozart took the time and the painstaking time to document his genius for us framed it in this European classical tradition. And he gets credit for what he did. Ben Harney, I'm sure he heard lots of talented black and white music. It's like, imagine saying some musician existed in a vacuum. No, we all are
I
sponges.
was just about to say, yeah,
We've all
there's
taken
nothing from the
everything.
vacuum.
I'm sure he heard some great black banjo players and some amazing white Appalachian fiddle players. And he decided, you know what? This is a whole new style of music. But he invented it and he coined the term, and he was the father of ragtime. Now they started.
Do you have a song about Ben Harney?
Should write him, but what's better is I'm actually recording Ben Harney's song. So I discovered this about a year ago. I know that sounds crazy because I'm like, but I basically I spent my whole life studying mostly black musicians. So in my 20s, I studied what was called stride piano. Stride piano emerged from ragtime. Ragtime went out of popularity by around 1915, and that was really when we started getting into the swing pre-jazz era. But in terms of piano styles, stride piano emerged from ragtime, and that's what we stride across the keys. The left hand is literally jumping. You have to have incredible muscle memory. Now, what was different with stride was that it was not written down.
Because you got to be able to jump and hit your key exactly.
You have to
know
be
where
able
it's
to
gonna
basically
be.
play with your eyes closed. And it was just the best of the best musicians. And they were the guys, white and black, that grew up playing in the ragtime era, in these ragtime styles.
You want to show me a little bit of it?
Well,
A little bit of stride action?
So the stride is the same thing as kind of the Mario that I was showing you. Be like, so the idea is if you want to do kind of this boom chuck, you can do it with two hands and it's easier. So like, listen. Right? So I'm using two hands to do that boom chuck, but then guess what I can't do? The melody at the same time. The da, 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 da. So what you have to learn to do is the boom chuck with one hand, where the boom is the bass. If you don't, because you don't have a bass player, the boom, 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 boom. But then you also need the syncopation, the ragtime, the bum, 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 bum. So you have to learn to do that with one hand. So I can't do it in where I'm sitting right here, but when you put them together.
Wow.
And people don't realize that that's like.
How fun is it being able to do that? Does that
It's
just feel
incredibly-
so fun? You always look like you're having so much fun. when
That's
you're
the
doing
funnest thing that I can possibly do. It's the most exhilarating
Yeah.
thing, but people don't realize that's like 30 years of work right there, right? That it because it's a lot of muscle memory.
It doesn't look easy, bro.
It's-
Just
well,
trust me.
and
When I
it's
see you
not
playing,
that-
I'm like, this guy's good.
It's
Like,
not that
damn.
people great pianists can't do it. There's no call for it. In other words, classical musicians this is all kind of improvised and you have to, they don't do this. Doesn't exist in classical really. Jazz, you're mostly focused on the right hand and providing nice chordal harmonies, and you let the band and the bass player, you don't do that in jazz. You're going to get kicked out of a jazz band if you start doing that. You're going to piss everyone off. But this was at a time when the pianists were just, they grew up being the best that they could be, right? They were just riffing off of each other, having what were called cutting contests. So in other words, stride sort of emerged from ragtime, and it's mostly Black musicians like Fats Waller, Jelly Roll Morton. And these were sort of the forerunners of kind of modern jazz. But my point is, I spent most of my life studying Black musicians and also being told that I was appropriating and I was racist and I shouldn't be doing this. I mean, it's crazy, the things that they said. And so about a year ago, I started doing a real deep dive. And for years, then, just to go back to what you're saying about like protest songs and how these songs came from parody, I was told, or I looked it up and the internet said that the first ragtime song was by a Black composer named Ernest Hogan from 1896. And it's called All Coons Look Alike to Me. All Coons Look Alike to Me. And it's by a Black composer. But it really, it's a great song.
And is he talking about the Black Coons at that time or the
Yes.
White Coons?
No, Black Coons. So it's from the perspective of a Black woman who is sick of her deadbeat boyfriend who's Black, and she dumps him for a guy who's actually has a job and who's working hard and treats her right. And he's like, why'd you leave me? And she's like, all coons look alike to me, you know, like I'm gonna pick the guy who's actually taking care of me, right? And so if you actually listen to the song, it's like, well, actually, okay, yeah, that makes it. That's how Black people would talk, right? They're like, and it's written by a Black guy, right? So the whole idea is, it's like, it's not really racist. Though I'm sure that title is, they historians hate that title. So
well, yeah, I mean, basically, if we follow this track, then all gangster rap in the future will be outlawed because it will be Black people calling each other the N-word.
Exactly.
They'll say, oh, that's racist for them to say N-word constantly, so we have to now ban this music because it was racist. So the Black people are calling themselves Black and making fun of themselves or whatever, and also, like, you know, like niggas term, ain't shit, you know. Like
at the time was not considered a slur, right? So it was. The majority of when I see the word coon in these songs from the 1880s and 90s, it's in an affectionate, and that's going to sound crazy, but it's like a daddy singing to "You're my little baby coons." Like it's
isn't when they say nigga, they my nigga. That's my nigga.
There are many
so it's affectionately
songs,
that's my nigga.
Some of the songs that I'm recording sing nigger, but it's like the most beautiful word that you've ever heard, because it's in this context of the music is beautiful and it's like a lullaby, and it's like, I
had no idea where we're going to go.
This is my real, this is my passion.
There should be a counter on the side of the thing to say how many times we say coon during this.
Coon. Well, there's a great song called Coon Coon Coon, which I recorded, and I redid that one as Troon Troon Troon. You see, these songs are ripe for parody, and because they are satire and parody by their very nature. That is, they come from comedy. So this sort of musical comedy style. And look, I'm not saying that
when you do these songs, are they original compositions, or are they like the
Alexis of my songs?
Honey? Alexis
about
is
half and
Honey, or Faking Gay?
Faking Gay
the
is
Pandemic Dance.
Pandemic Dance it's about half and half. Pandemic Dance is 100% mine. Faking Gay is about half and half, where I took the verse from a TV show called The Odd Couple, and that's the music is based off of that, the dun da dun da da. But then the part that's it's fake and gay, that's mine. So I compose. So it's sometimes I will combine, and then Alexis is My Honey is the opposite style, where that is a almost note for note parody remake song of the Honey song from Winnie the Pooh, from a movie from about 15 years ago. Wow. And so when I created that one, I actually transposed when I'm singing the beginning of the honey, 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 right? That's actually, I wrote that down note for note by ear because the arrangement in the Winnie the Pooh has the same harmonies. And then when I crafted the Honey song, I basically I took the same format of the Winnie the Pooh song, the Honey song, and then changed kind of the words slightly in some, and some of the lines are actually the same as the song. So that's a straight parody of that song. So I try to do a little bit of everything. And the person that I would say that I haven't mentioned yet, I don't know if you know, is Tom Lehrer. Do you know Tom Lehrer?
I don't know anything, man.
He's the
All of this is
satire
above my head.
He's a satire guy from the 50s and 60s. He just passed away a few months ago at 96. He was making fun of Henry Kissinger. He was singing songs making fun of Operation Paperclip when we brought over the Nazis. He was making fun of that in songs in the 1950s. So if I would never say this, but if anyone is his successor, at least actively today, it would be me trying to do this. So this idea of musical singing at a piano.
By the way, what is foundering? What is foundering? What does that mean? Is it like is it to do with Golem, or
you want all the secrets, do you? No, that's not a secret. It's just a character that I created.
How would you come up with the name of a foundering as a character? It's a weird name.
Yeah, that's a good question. We used to have screen names when I was young. So we would have lots of, when I went online and stuff, I didn't use that. I created it in a song. It actually it's not found ring. It's actually comes from a word to founder. This is like another
foundling, like a foundling.
No. So I'm also like a word nerd. So I play Scrabble like competitively. So I do a lot of word kind of. I'm big on anagrams. Wow. I don't know if you've ever seen my anagram.
I was gonna say, have you ever tested your IQ? It's got to be up there.
It's whatever. But I'm retarded at like 90% of things. So to founder is a great vocab word. It does not mean to found something or discover. To founder is when a boat hits rocks near the shore and sinks. The boat is foundering and is taking on water. It is not a good situation. It is also a term for horses. It's an ailment that horses get, and they also go down like a boat.
I feel like I've opened up a page to another dimension. Like there's an entire universe out there that I've never even heard of, and it's like I just opened the door, and like you're the portal to it.
It's the Coon song.
I've never heard so many things that I've never heard of before in my life.
Like
completely in over my head. I'm foundering.
It's like Nightmare Before Christmas when Jack, he goes and he sees the door for Christmas, and then there's the door for Thanksgiving, and then the tree for Easter, and then there's the Coon song. The Coon song tree. I'm gonna go on the Coon song one. So no, to founder, it was a term I made. I made up in a song when I was maybe 16 or 17, and it was a character that I conceived of. Foundering, in other words, this as I was getting kind of disillusioned with my schooling. I mean, I hadn't dropped out of college. I mean, I was in high school still, but I mean, I didn't last very long in college because I wanted to do my own thing. And it was this character that was foundering
so
by
like drowning
not really
or collapsing.
Was by not wanting to participate.
Crash and burn.
A little bit, yeah, because I kind of crashed out. It was more like they wanted me to go a certain path, and I'm not going to go that path. This was a character, and I didn't really think of it as me. It was more of this character that I invented, and I use it in titles for other songs. But it was not something that I called myself until I started my YouTube channel in around 2006 or 7. So it was a character that I had created like in around 2000. But then when I started my YouTube channel, I was like, what am I going to call it? I guess I'll call it Foundering. I guess this will be an outlet for this character I created when I was a teenager in high school. But it was not something that
you were doing your whole performance character existed prior to COVID and all that. And that
yeah. So that aluminum foil song that I was telling you, that I did that in 2014 on that YouTube channel. And
I just can't even believe that song's that old. It's like,
isn't that crazy? We're just getting old. Yeah, no, but I sung about, the Holocaust being fake and Jewish space lasers bringing down the towers, but just like being provocative, right? That was sort of this persona. But I was doing the foundering persona for a while, but I got nailed by YouTube and then they basically killed my channel, even though it wasn't deleted for a number of years later. So I basically kind
Do you
of
have
gave
any
up on it.
albums? Do you put albums out?
I have
Do you
like
stuff on
100.
Spotify?
I have 100 albums. I'm banned on Spotify.
Oh, well, is there other places where banned people can go?
I mean, I'm on
You can,
Gumroad.
you can have all the gangster rap in the world on Spotify, but
Or
you
all the
can't be on
coons.
there.
Yeah, that right, exactly. That you can put the most violent
Is Heil
stuff
Hitler on there? Is a nigga Heil Hitler on there
on
Spotify?
I think they banned that one.
Oh.
And I did a version of that called Honky Heil Hitler, which was pretty fun one too. Yeah, I'm sort of over the
Are you
trying to.
gonna do anything with Charlie Kirk? Did you do a Charlie Kirk thing yet?
I did a memory song for him. Yeah, called.
I was thinking about more like the whole, how you always make fun of like and he went in, you'd be like, and he went into the woods and he took it, he's got a park and he sent his love a letter, he said, my love, you could like from that
dude,
that thing.
Have you ever done musical theater, bro? You seem like you got it.
I actually, I'm like pretty good at freestyle singing. I don't freestyle rap, but my buddy used to play riffs for me and I would just make up lyrics on the spot.
I love it.
Like some of them are really amazing. Like you go back and you're like, how in the hell did I do that? Like I'll send you a few of them. I'll send you a couple of my old classics. Some that are just straight off the top of my dome. I used to go and be like, give me a topic, a random topic. And I would have my homie would play. And then I would just make up the song on the spot.
I'd love to hear that.
Like I've been thinking about Robinson's is tranny was a sheenus and he ended up getting killed because of Macron's wife's penis.
Yeah, no, I love it.
If you're following the Candace thing.
Did you see? Because that's actually my latest song. It's called The Jets of Cairo, and I do sing about Charlie in that. And so maybe that's the one that you would like me to write. Is one I've already done, and I sing about Macron. And how they're going after Candace.
Do you think about Macron's penis?
I do. Yes, I call it a petite winky.
I may have seen it.
Yeah. Anyway, so
can I play a little of this Alexis Is My Honey just for the fans here?
Sure.
I just want to. I've got about maybe 20 more minutes. Unfortunately, my neighbor is this elderly lady, and I have to give her dinner at a certain time.
That's so sweet.
And so I gotta make sure I get over there for her. But this is so like I had no idea I was gonna open up this book. This is just so cool, very unusual. Where is it?
Honey, 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 honey.
You get me, dude.
Honey, 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 honey. Honey,
Like a
honey, 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 Alexis is my honey, she been assigned to me. The sweetest little honey pot I fill with hot curry. I'm true Hindu with crossed eyes, I'm compromised. Are you surprised she's attracted to this 40-something skinny apoo? Are you? Alexis is my honey, she sings them country tunes. They groomed her good at PragerU, and now she shills for Jews. Watch how the kikes unite with Pajeets and dox you for tweeting our honey pot schemes. Alexis is my honey, and so's the chosen race. And if you call her honey pot, we're going to sue your face. We made up a patsy for Charlie Kirk, it hardly worked, we're retarded jerks. The Epstein files are gone, how odd. It doesn't matter that he is massaged. Alexis is my honey, and I'm her Vindaloo. The FBI's been honeyfied by Net and you know who. Now everything is honey, and I am what I eat, although it fills my tummy. I'm still a stinky jeet.
I love
You're such a cock, man. It's so funny. The facial expression when you just like making fun of people, it's just so.
I love that.
Man.
Look, I love performing. like your reaction means more to me because when I do these songs, I don't see people react. I just sort of have to put them out there, but then because I don't know if it's good or funny. I mean, I don't know, but then
It's just so cocky. You're just like,
just see
I just said it. Yes, I'm saying it again. And how about this one?
And I have to credit YouTube and all these places that have banned me over the years because now I don't have to care anymore, right? I can embrace it as opposed to kind of pussyfooting around, which is fine. There's a time and place
walking
to sort
the
of
line,
just walk the line.
Rope.
But then it's you know what? And that's why I'm I'm just gonna put up that Dar'll Be a Nigger this thing on YouTube. So that
came back in.
That line that reminded me of how I write things because I told you that came from a Winnie the Pooh movie where I rewrote the lyrics.
Yeah.
And there's a line where he sings Winnie the Pooh, and I changed it to Skinny Apu. with Winnie the Pooh, and that's like an inside joke that only I would get.
And the net and that was really clever the way you put that one together.
You know who, yeah.
And the net you know who.
So I when I started making these albums, I dropped out of college 20 years ago, and I started recording albums as Foundering, and I tried to make some serious music, and I thought it was pretty good. And then as YouTube, when YouTube started, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I can start putting stuff up. And I started writing anti-war songs and anti-banker songs, and noticed that YouTube started suppressing my channel early on.
This one is really great. The pandemic dance. I mean,
so
this one starts off about the Titanic, right?
That's right. So
I was actually getting teary-eyed listening to earlier.
I love that you brought that up because you anticipated where I was going, and that I trying to walk that line for so many years, and I was still punished for it. And I eventually gave up on the Foundering character. I started touring with that band and having an experience that I told you, right? I went around the world, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to start over. So I made an Instagram. I never had an Instagram, and I called that Ragtime Rev, because with my band, I started being known as the Reverend of Ragtime because I'm a church organist as well, but I play ragtime, right? So they call me the Ragtime Rev. So actually, I'm still Ragtime Rev on Instagram and Twitch.
I called myself the Reverend Buddy Green when I sung the Bong song at the Hemp Fest.
I love that.
I'm the Reverend Buddy Green, and it looks like the good Lord himself is blowing bong hits from heaven now.
Well, there's a lot of sort of the gospel stuff going on with the ragtime too. There's a lot of this gospel element. So anyway, I retired the Foundering.
Did you ever see the song that I did about what was it, the with Anthony Fauci, where I sung?
I saw that. I think
that
so.
I was at. It's the Monster Vax.
The Monster Vax. Yep.
I was waking in the lab late one
night. That's the legendary one. Yeah,
lab.
Stuff like that it was more important to me, but just people in general. Like seeing artists going out there and doing that kind of stuff was really inspiring for me. But to get to what I was saying about the pandemic dance, I felt like the COVID thing was so hard, and people were it was just painful to watch. And I'm like, you know what? I think Foundering has to come back. And I did the pandemic dance. I wrote that one through mid 2020, spent some time on it. And I think it's my most important song I'll ever write, just because of when I wrote it and the things that I said, being like, this is what they're going to do when they release the vaccine. It's going to be contaminated with this and this, and they're going to yada, yada, yada. So I feel like
I was getting teary-eyed just looking at how humanity has really been just under this thumb, and it was kind of just
a long
deep,
time.
Man, that we've been putting up with this stuff and just sigh up and
I think that's the heart of what we do is important. Is we repackage these tough ideas, these heavy things, in a way that is a little more palatable, in a way that people can address it more. Because if you try to just hit them over, and look, I love the Alex Jones style, be like, we're gonna eat the babies, and which is great, and that is good for one thing. But for a lot of people,
have you ever done an Alex Jones song?
I have a song called Alex Jones Was Right. Yes, he played it on his show. Yeah. Actually, I went on with Harrison too.
Oh, you have been on with Harrison.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna say,
yeah.
I wonder if I could, yeah, because
Yeah, and I wrote one called I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I wrote that for Alex
You
too. So no, I listened to Alex like
you
20
did
years ago.
you did the original remake of that, or where it's all chopped up, or
It's
did you actually play it?
I played it and did my own version of that one. Yeah.
I will eat your
Yeah,
leftist ass like
yeah, I
corn
did like a
on the cob.
ragtime. I
I'm
did a
ready.
ragtime version of that one.
Well, give me a little bit of that one, real
Well,
quick.
I
wanna
don't.
hear
I
that
can't
one.
do it anymore. It's been. I don't. You have to pull it
Oh.
up. You just look up "I Will Eat Your Ass" by Foundering. That might give you some weird results if you search it out. But
My feed will just be like ass eating the whole
what I'm
time.
trying to say is like I spent a lot of time on Reddit and elsewhere trying to wake people up, trying to be that info warrior. But I
Mhm.
realized that music is kind of my gift, and I'm like, well, I might as well use that. And music is the most powerful, can be a very powerful way to cut through the propaganda and deliver these messages. And you can hide behind the art behind it, but really, if you try to tell someone they're killing us all, they're gonna be like, I don't want to hear it. But if you're like, they're killing us all, they're killing us all, they're just like, okay. And you know what? That's ragtime. We come full circle because what were these ragtime songs? They were like, my baby left me, my wagon broke down, I'm dying of freaking syphilis over here. But you know what?
How do we get you on
I'm
a
freaking
tour?
smiling. How do we get?
How do
I
we
don't know,
get
man.
you
I'm
on a-
like the most banned musician ever.
I wish I had contact with you when I was doing the American Liberty Awards. I would have had you play that. That would have been so cool.
There is people are starved for this kind of stuff. And we
Yeah.
are at a turning point. I really do. And we're at the 250th anniversary.
You need to get like a
of America.
Jewish, some
I
kind of
need a Jew. No, it's like
producer.
that. It's like that Family Guy episode where I'll call "When You Wish Upon a Weinstein," and Peter is like he's staring at the star. When you wish upon a star, he's like, I need a Jew, and the stars turn into a Star of David in the sky. He needs a Jewish manager.
Yeah, you need
a
a manager that can just set you up gigs and like roll around the country. I mean, it seems like you like. What about like? Do you know any of the comedians? Like, do you know JP Sears at all? Do you know?
I don't know him. No.
I wonder if
I know who he is,
if,
but
like,
I don't think
I
he's
wonder
ever.
if like Sam Tripoli.
Oh, Sam is a bud of mine. He reposts my stuff all the time. Yeah.
Like it would seem to me like this would be a perfect opener for like Sam goes on. You're
Or like
like his
Leonardo
fluffer.
Jolie would be another one.
Yeah, and you go on and you just do a couple of jams just to warm the crowd up a little bit because
It'd be
it's
great.
basically comedy. So
Oh,
why don't you
totally.
see if one of these guys will put you on as the fluffer, the opener, and like even like Lila Hart and I could maybe ask who's Lila Hart always chilling with I don't know why it's stuck. My brain is.
It's a great idea. It's a good idea, and
I think you should get your little the smaller keyboard, something you can bring in, and you just warm up comedy shows that are any kind of right wing conspiracy comedy show. You're the opener. Boom.
Yeah, I'm down for sure. That's pretty much all I have left. I've been fired so many times in the last few years. First, I was fired for not getting vaccinated. Then I was fired for not wearing masks, and then I was fired for my songs that I wrote about it.
Yeah. I want to play a little bit of this one before we close it out because this one really gets into it. And
I thought you were gonna pull up I Will Eat Your Ass.
You want to play that one instead? I'll play a little bit of this one. I'm gonna get this one full screen.
Mr. Johnny Rockefeller back in 1909 said, hey, J.P. Morgan, heard you got a cruise line. Let's make 2 Titanic ships. It's okay if one of them's shit. We'll swap them in the evening when they go to sleep. And we'll sink one to the bottom of the ocean deep. And everyone we don't like will have a watery night. Oh. With a lack of competition and a whole lot of nerve, they chuckled as they called it the quote Federal Reserve, but it left them still wanting more. So they instigated a great war. And the soldiers on the front lines lined up for their shots. And Bayer said, "Here, have some aspirin. Don't worry, take lots." Then young men began to die for an electromagnetic ride. I've got the flus. This darn flu done made me sick. It's true, I've got the flu. I'm doing the panic Hispanic. Rockefeller sure loved his petroleums. He barked at all the doctors, "Don't use plants, use my drugs." And ever since then, we've been sick. They've patented every trick. Now in New York, 1916, there was this polio. It came from a Rockefeller lab. Well, wouldn't you know, they still blamed it on immigrants. Never mind the scientist fingerprints. Oh. Now in a time when doctors smoked a pack before noon, they sprayed the skies with pesticides. Kids played in it too, like that good old DDT. Rinse, repeat, it's good for me. They blame the sickness on a virus they could barely see, to try and hide their poisonous lies cause most every disease. They searched for the holy vaccine, the Church of Science obscene. You've got the polio. You should trust your doctor, he knows. Oh no, you got the polio. You got the polio.
Yeah, man, this one kind of gets me. It's like so sad, like what they've done to people, the world, man. It's like it's it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's like we've really been fucking screwed by these people for a very long time.
Yeah, I tried to counter
really,
this
really
one,
sad.
the energy of this one with the mRNA speed of science one. I don't know if you saw that one. It's like, let me tell you a story of a man named Fauci on a tragic and fate. So I did like a funny, kind of a funnier version, but that one is a little bit more intense. But I pinned it to my channel, and when I made that song, I wasn't on Twitter, and I just had this shadow banned YouTube channel with like maybe 20,000 subscribers, but it was dead. They had killed it. So I didn't worry about production value. It's just interesting to me.
I will eat your leftist ass, or I will eat
I think
your
it's
ass.
just called I Will Eat Your Ass. Yeah. I will eat your
Let's see
ass.
if I can
But
pull
I
it
don't know.
off,
I
but-
appreciate you playing that one. And I feel like they're really trying to memory hold this era, but I'm never going to let it go. I'm still really pissed off about a lot of it. And
man, it's like the problem is, it's like these guys never get arrested. They never do jail time. They don't get, they don't swing from ropes. And we keep wondering why they keep hitting us with more and more psyops and more bullshit. We're constantly dealing with this stuff because these people never fucking pay the piper, man. Ever.
But you know what they don't like is when we document their crimes.
Yeah.
They like to say document it themselves, but when we sing about it and stuff, they get pissed. And that's the real record. I mean, the bards are the ones who write the history. I mean, go back to Homer, he was the one that gave us the Odyssey and the Iliad and stuff. That he was a bard, and I think that there's something about that role of using performance art, whether it be music or whatever, memes, even the memes, meme makers we're the ones that are gonna.
Is this it?
See,
I don't think that's it.
See, I told you to be wary when you still. Okay.
No.
This is why
I
X
don't
is.
know if this is good. Maybe
See, now
you
your
could,
search
if you
results are
pin
going to be
it to
screwed.
your page real quick. Can you do that? And I'll or just retweet it real quick, and then I'll go. Then I won't have to. Now I'm gonna every time I'm scrolling, I'm gonna get fucking gay dudes eating each other's asses out.
You know what?
Thanks,
You know what's so funny about that is not funny, but disturbing.
You
is
did, or-
that my Twitter still bans my songs. I've had about half a dozen songs banned by X, and you can post that kind of stuff, but me singing silly things, they get banned. I mean, it just goes to show how backwards things are. And there's a great story that like I said, all these coon songs, zero sexual, any type of degeneracy in any of these songs. Never, ever, ever, ever. And you think about what they push on kids today,
Yeah.
like the sexual content, it's astonishing. The incongruity there, right? Where X can flood
Mhm.
pornography all over it, and kids can access that. But me singing songs about how pornography is bad, things like that, I'll get in trouble. I get in trouble for that. You know, that's it. Just goes.
Did you
to show how
did you retweet it?
I can't even find it. See, X
You
is
can't
hiding.
find your own. You
I
can't find
can't-
your own
I
song.
can't find my own song. It won't show up with a. I'm searching for it. It won't show up.
Motherfucker.
No, that's what they
How
do.
about
They
this?
remove my songs from the search. Yeah, that's what's happening. But
Lame,
I've
man.
gotten
Lame.
over complaining about it because people don't
Yeah.
really. They don't
I
like.
mean,
it when you complain.
everyone says they're shadow banned, but I really am. I have 167,000 followers, and sometimes I'll post something even on a trending topic, and it will like get 0 comments. 0.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
the only thing for some reason I don't get shadow banned on my live streams. Like we're doing pretty good right now. 177 people live watching. That's not bad. You know, probably be about 5,000 views by the time it's said and done. So it's pretty good. I enjoy these. Like I said, this is such a treat tonight. I really had no idea I was going to go get a full-on American history music like lesson. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm eager to share, and I really appreciate you letting me kind of go off because there's not a lot of people who would be like, they would say,
I never saw you like be interviewed before. I thought maybe I was the first one, but apparently you have been interviewed. Like you were on Harrison. You did. Who else have you done?
I mean, I've quite a few here and there.
Did Sam ever have you on?
No, I should though.
I'm telling you, man, you got to hit these guys up. You this would be very cool. I mean, because you always have the comedian coming on, and it's like warming the crowd up with the jokes and stuff like that. Because usually they have 3. Usually there's like the guy who introduces everybody. Then there's
Sure.
like the second, they're fluffer. So you could be like the first one, then switch gears to like their second comedian guy, and then the main act.
I think one of the issues is that there is this thing that the right wing, I think, thinks that art and this type of performance art is a primarily left wing phenomenon. Are you following that the sort of musical theater is something that is owned by the left? No, I look, I'm just saying there is some people that consider this type of thing to be that way. But actually, the truth is, traditionally, this type of expression was right wing, and it was not. I mean, or it was a little bit of everything, right? This was only in the last 100 years that they co-opted it and they turned it into a woke situation where musical theater used to be based. Used to be like, we're killing the king and we're acting it out. And Shakespeare and his Shylocks and all that. So I feel like,
I mean, faking gay to open up Sam Tripoli's show would just be awesome.
I think people need are warming up to the idea that kind of performance is not owned by one group and that we should take back this type of expression.
Absolutely.
And
100%.
I'm a piano fag, and that's okay. It's okay. Embrace your inner piano fag. And I think that's why I'm not apologetic about it. I put myself out there in a way that is traditionally the sort of this gay theater, left-wing theater kid energy. But then the left hates that.
You own it, bro. You own it.
I lost a lot of friends because they're mad.
I would
that
be
I'm
so happy to go see Sam and have you open up. I've seen him a couple of times down when he comes down here in San Diego. I've been on his show before. Sam's pretty chill. And I just have a feeling maybe if you hit him up, say, hey man, like if you come out West Coast or if you're in my area, would you try it? Would you just let me do
I'd be totally
open
down.
up like
he and I
just the one song, just that one song.
We're on
just
the same
see how the
page
crowd
about a lot.
reacts. Yeah, just see how the crowd reacts to that, because all of his followers are going to get every word that you're saying, that you're laying down. It's like you're speaking their language, literally. So this would be really huge.
And I know you have to go feed your neighbor lady, but I wanted to tell you that because you asked earlier and then I never got around to answering. I like crater Earth theory.
The crater Earth. The crater Earth theory makes more sense. Actually, I didn't even know that was a theory. But
so you should look up. I made a documentary.
I had thought about that. Have you ever seen the expanding Earth theory?
Yes, I like that too. I like that.
The expanding Earth theory is pretty trippy because
it's trippy, but the idea that we are on a larger object rings really true for me. It does, and I'm not saying people will get on my case. They call me a flurfer and all that. I'm like, look, Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't know what's the situation, but
it would be cool if there was a bunch of other continents we could go and
no, I think
finally get it.
It's way, 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 way bigger than they say.
And we're just like trapped in this little.
We're in, and we got taken over by a parasite, like an alien. See, aliens are actually from the next crater, right? They don't need to travel 1 billion trillion miles in space. It doesn't make any sense, right? They're actually just coming over from nearby ecosystems, and they have similar biologies because we're part of the same structure, larger structure.
DNA,
but
they're DNA based.
Sure, but they are. Let's just say we have been invaded, and there is an invasion, I think, from a parasitic alien neighbor crater species that's taken over Earth for like 2,000 years. So there's my answer. That's going to be our next conversation. What?
You said you've made a documentary about that?
I have a song called The Parasite Pill too, which sings about that.
I saw that one. I did see that one.
I made a documentary called Crater Earth. The documentary, it's based off of.
Do you do parasite cleanses? Did you notice a difference in your mentality after you parasite cleanse?
I think I haven't done. I mean, my diet is conducive to that. I feel like the music I play is a natural parasite cleanse. I think some of the ragtime stuff. I'm not even kidding. I think that helps me keep free, and that's why the style of music that I play, it triggers the parasite infected in a big way. I'm not to say like, oh, if you don't like ragtime, you have parasites. I'm talking about the people. I mean, maybe, but the people.
These people are sick.
No, they get like when I busk, because I used to busk a lot. People would get violent and like try to assault me. Like it triggers something in them with the fact that I'm putting so much energy and love and passion into it. But it also is this. Yeah, I think it is a parasite cleanse in itself. So.
Yeah. Another one like Chrissy Mayer. Have you been on her show?
Yeah.
I have her number. Maybe I wonder if she plays out here sometimes. And
hey, do you want to be my Jewish manager?
I wish I had it like that, but I'm not good with money, So it's like I'll have you playing everywhere for free. So you really need a Jewish guy. But I think I really think somebody
be my Jew.
Somebody would. I think just see if you can get Sam to just give you that one shot. Just say, just let me just open one show. I'll bring the keyboard in. I'll just do one little thing, just a little. I think he might do it.
Love it. I think that's a good idea. I think we're ready. I'm looking for. I don't know. I'm bored. I don't know what to do now in my life.
Yeah, and then Eddie Bravo.
Oh, sure.
You open up for Eddie Bravo.
I don't think he knows my work. Sam definitely knows.
Everyone knows your work. I think any conspiracy theorist is going to know your stuff at some point.
That's weird to think about.
Cross path. Yeah, you're huge, man. Fuck, I've known you since back in COVID. I was so great to see you pop back on the map. I guess you've been on the map the whole time. I just didn't see you. That just kind of got you back in the game recently. I saw you, and then I was going to interview you, and then I kind of just got sidetracked. And then when the honeypot thing came up, I was like, fuck, I got to jump on it now while he's back in the game. So that's cool. What's the next? What do you got? What do you got in the pipes before we hang up here? I gotta go and
I'm mostly doing coon songs, man. I've got a bunch of coon songs I'm working on.
They don't go viral like these other songs.
Oh no, but I'm not interested in that. There's some of the nigger ones are go a little viral, but I'm not interested in that. I'm more interested. This is more of a long-term preservation.
I don't know why, but for some reason that because you listen to rap songs like back when I was younger, and I had this tune in my head. It's like nigger music, sung by a nigger, recorded by a nigger.
That's what
by a nigger.
Literally the welcome to all coon songs. That's kind of what it is.
Came to my mind. I don't know why, but it was.
It's like so funny how they're like. It's like I'm culturally appropriating. No, is my culture, American culture, to sing these racially offensive, provocative songs through comedy and through catchy melodies. This is my culture, and I'm preserving it. So that is the main reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is I'm trying to show.
Yeah, like I said, if we follow this yardstick, then they will outlaw all gangster rap because they will say, well, these people were using offensive terms to call each other these names. When you're saying they were calling themselves these names, and this was their music, and that was how they wrote it, and basically we're just memory holding history, which is never healthy, is it?
Right. And in fact, when they got rid of the coon songs and they said, "Oh, this is all racist" by the 20s and 30s, did things get better? No, things got worse. And everything got way worse. I mean, they're trying to say, "Oh, everything it was all bad in the 1800s and there was like lynchings," and it's like, no, none of that's true. I mean, sure, times were tough and there were inequalities, but there was opportunities too. And like in the early jazz era, ragtime era, no one cared what the color of your skin was. They cared, could you play? Could you sing? Could you perform? Were you a good, like, all of those things? And that's what mattered. And then when everything became, oh, it's black and where's is white, it all went to shit. And everyone started arguing who was who. And then they started, and the jazz kind of ruined that. And the early jazz is okay, but then it got sexualized and then rock and roll and all that. Blah. But it was genuine. And ragtime and these coon songs were the first real American music style and the first truly.
See, when I saw those on your page,
style.
I just thought you were just trying to be offensive. I didn't know that you were actually trying to resurrect the historical.
Isn't that
people
weird how there we are? So that's why I need to really.
But hey,
on
I do have to
documentary.
go because I don't want her to call me and be like, "Where's my dinner?"
No.
So, but just keep in mind when I shut the stream down, the last image is what the thumbnail is. So play us out.
Oh, what is going? Did you shut the stream down? Yeah, well, here. I don't know if anybody heard that, but good night. Love you guys.